Okay, guys, real quick. Um, this video ran a little bit long, so this is just gonna be a quick intro. It ran like 30 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop it up. I did it into 3 parts, but when I redo it and edit it out a little bit, I'm gonna chop it down to 2 parts. So it's gonna be two 15-minute segments. So just a quick warning, okay? It's gonna be like 15 minutes long, maybe a little bit longer. So here we go. What's up, guys? King Two Liners here. I just wanted to make this part 3 of the video series, How to Play Yu-Gi-Oh! I wanted to try and make everything under an hour, but I don't know if it's going to work, so this is going to be the advanced section for part 3 of 4, okay? So there's only going to be 4 videos of this. I'm going to try to explain things best I can, but in case you have any questions or anything like that, check out yugiohwikia.com. That's the #1 place to go, or konami.com, and they have a bunch of articles and stuff like that. Alright, so starting off, we're going to go with the general stuff. To activate. Alright, to activate means basically to play anything, to set it in motion, to get the ball going. Alright, let's say you set a trap, and then you do your normal phase, you end your turn, opponent's turn, they draw, you can activate your trap then, whatever, maybe it could be drop off, if they draw, which basically says they lose the card they draw. So. Alright, chain. Chains are a little more fun. Chains, basically, this is going to be the fun part of the game. So you're going to have to learn this kind of stuff. Alright, a chain is basically when one player plays a card and then another player plays another card to respond to it. Case in point, let's say it's banned now, but let's say they play Regeki. Regeki basically says you activate and it destroys all their all their monsters. Doesn't matter if it's face up or face down or whatever, just kills them all. Alright, you play Magic Jammer to stop that. Now, because your Magic Jammer is at a higher spell speed, it will react faster and it'll be faster than theirs, so you can kill it. Alright? And so you activate Magic Jammer, which is a counter trap. They activate 7 Tools of the Bandit, which is a counter trap that kills a counter trap. Okay, so they pay the 1,000 life points, their 7 tools kills your Magic Jammer, and your Magic Jammer doesn't get to kill their Raigeki. So that's how a chain works. It goes in order of first starting. So Raigeki's first, and the Magic Jammer activates to kill that, and then 7 tools activates to kill that. So 7 tools will kill the Magic Jammer, so it takes out step 2, so that Raigeki can be played. Do you get it? Alright, so basically that's a chain. There are cards that cannot activate or negate each other. You cannot Solemn Warning a Solemn Warning. You can Solemn Judgment a Solemn Warning, but the play better be like one of those game enders, or else you're going to be paying a lot of life points. Alright, so next up we're going to have cost. Alright, the cost of something. I'm not talking about buying cards here. Alright. The cost would be like 7 Tools of the Bandit. You pay 1,000 life points to negate a trap, okay, or counter trap, however you want to say it. The cost is 1,000 life points. Now, if you play 7 tools and then they 7 tools, your 7 tools, you paid 1,000 life points. You don't get those life points back. Just because your card gets destroyed and negated does not mean you get them back. You never get a refund on life points. Once it's paid, it's paid. You don't get it back. Okay. So you pay your 1,000 for your 7 tools. They pay their 1,000 for their 7 tools. They paid their 7,000, so they lose 1,000 life points, but it kills yours. Okay, your 7 tools still dies. You still paid the cost on it. It's just the way it is. You never get refunds on those ever. All right, counters. By counters, you mean spell counters. Basically, there are a lot of cards that work with spell counters. There's Breaker. Which basically, when summoned, it has a spell counter already built into it, so it's a walking MST. It's 1900 attack. You summon it, you take off the counter, you can kill a face up, face down, whatever, spell or trap, boom, it's dead. You drop your attack down to 16, so it's still not terrible, but you know, not that great of an attack. Usually you want to summon it, attack, and then use its effects. Or if you want to play it safe, you can just use the effect first. So spell counters, there's a bunch of good cards for that. So basically, a spell counter does not go as its name says. It does not counter a spell. It's just like a bean. It's a counter. It's exactly that. It counts something. It doesn't counter it like kills it. Alright, destroy. When something is destroyed, it goes automatically to the graveyard unless the card text on it says something else. If it says remove it from play or banish it, that means it gets RFP'd or banished. It doesn't go to the graveyard. But for the most part, anything that gets destroyed, especially SANGANs and stuff, it goes straight to the graveyard. Alright, detach. Detach is strictly for Ixies. Ixies, when they detach a card, they just take it off and it goes to the graveyard. The old ruling was they counted it on the field, but now they don't, so it's a lot trickier to get rid of Ixies cards. Discard. Alright, discard would be like if I had Lightning Vortex, the cost of that is I have to discard a card from my hand to activate that card. So the cost would be discarding, and discarding just means I send it to the graveyard. Okay? You cannot discard a SANGAN and try to get its effect because it doesn't work like that. SANGAN says from field to graveyard, so it doesn't work like that. First turn kills. First turn kills basically any deck, like Exodia decks. If you draw 4 on your first turn and the second turn you draw the 5th one, that'll work. If you draw all 5 in a tournament, it won't work because just rulings are you can't draw. Your first hand can't be all 5 pieces. It's just the way it is. They'll make you redraw or shuffle. Lockdown. Lockdowns are my favorite. Usually it locks down some part of the field, whether it be spells, traps, spells and traps. No normal summoning, no special summoning, things like that. No monster effects. Skill drain decks in particular, they usually have really decent lockdowns. Alright, now first turn kills are different from one turn kills. A first turn kill will get you the first turn. A one turn kill will get you any turn, but it'll still kill you that turn. Okay? Not a huge difference, but still. There are decks around that too. Alright, resolving. Resolving basically means that's the end of the chain once all the cards are done. You attack, battle damage, you resolve, that's when you calculate the damage, that's the battle damage for that one monster. So resolving just means the end of the chain. Alright, to send. Now here's where it gets tricky. Sending means for the card, it goes from your deck, your hand, your side of the field, or the graveyard. Okay? Cards discarded are considered sent. However, sent are not classified as discarded. Not all the time. It's going to get tricky. When a card is destroyed, it is sent to the graveyard. However, sent are not considered destroyed. You can send from your hand, that does not mean it was destroyed, such as SANGAN to the hand. From the hand to the graveyard. So that doesn't mean it was destroyed, it just means it was sent. Discarding means from your hand. Alright. Dark Worlds, especially Dark Worlds, monsters, they have to have their effects when they're discarded to the graveyard. So discarded by card destruction. Great card. Not hand destruction, okay? Card destruction destroys all the cards in your hand and then sends them. It doesn't just discard them. Such as hand destruction. Hand destruction discards 2 cards, so you won't get the effects off. Card destruction destroys them. Hand destruction just discards them from, or not discards, just sends them from the hand. So they're not destroyed, they're just sent. Okay? So you should probably check up on that ruling because there's a bunch of different things on that. Okay? Alright, next up we're going to have target. Alright, now for targeting, again, it's one of those things where you need to be 100% on it. Targeting basically means when your monster uses its effect, it targets one monster in particular, and it's not just everything. Like Dark Hole is everything. It doesn't target at all. Lightning Vortex does not target, okay? Those cards don't target, so I mean, anything that says it needs to be targeted, needs to be targeted. It can't just be destroyed like that. Spirit Reaper, I believe, that one needs to be targeted. I'm not 100% sure on the ruling between Dark Hole and Spirit Reaper, but for the most part, if it needs to be targeted, it has to be targeted. It can't just destroy everything. If your card says this monster must be targeted by a spell or trap that destroys monsters, then it has to be targeted. If they play Dark Hole, you don't get the effect, unfortunately. Okay? Let's say you have Face-Up Blue Eyes, okay? And they play Offerings to the Doomed. Quick play spell. Basically, it'll kill your monster. So you play Book of Moon, another quick play spell. Okay? So you're trying to put your monster face down so their Offerings to the Doomed doesn't kill your face-up monster. Okay? Again, all in the card text. Alright, so Book of Moon resolves, so your card goes face down. So Dark Magician does not get destroyed. They wasted their Offerings to the Doomed. See, because Offerings to the Doom only targets face-up monsters, and Dark Magician's face down, so it can't get killed. So Offering to the Doom resolves. They basically wasted their card, and they cannot pick a new monster to kill. It just doesn't work like that. It targeted that one monster. Get it? All right. Let's say I special summon the Tricky. I attack. They activate Draining Shield, which is basically targets my monster, because it says when it targets a monster, and when they attack, you add their attack points to your life points. Okay. So basically, I can activate Trap Jammer, which is, it basically negates any traps during the battle phase, I believe. And Trap Jammer would kill their Draining Shield, because it's a counter trap, it's faster. It would kill theirs and their Draining Shield, so they don't get the life point boost, and my monster goes through with its attack. So it's just, targeting is just like that. Like Armory Arm targets. If you pull Armory Arm, you can target their Spirit Reaper, which will kill itself. Okay? Alright, next we're going to have Tributing. Tributing is the same, as for everything. You can't tribute Scapegoat, you can't tribute tokens. It depends what you're tributing for. If you're tributing for an effect like Cannon Soldier, you can do it. If you're tributing for monster, you can't. It just strictly says cannot tribute summon. Can be tributed for card effects, but not tribute summoned. Or cannot be used for tribute summon. Alright guys, ready for the fun stuff? This is going to be the monster effects, the different types they have, okay? We'll start off simple, and then we're going to go to the ridiculously complex that'll give you headaches and probably nightmares for a while. Alright, so first off, flip effects. Alright, flip effects are basically like Man-Eater Bug. Man-Eater Bug, basically it says it's level 2 insect, you put it face down defense. You can flip it, or if they attack, it flips. Basically it says it destroys one monster on the field. Okay, so if they attack it, you get the effect. It flips face up. If it's your turn, you said it last turn, you can flip it this turn. Okay, there are cards that activate it automatically. If they play Swords of Revealing Light, it will flip your monster and you do get the effect. Okay. However, if you're running a flip effect deck, watch out for CEASEFIRE, because CEASEFIRE will flip it face up, but you don't get the effect and you take damage. Alright, now if it's flipped up, if it's attacked, it is flipped up and destroyed. Okay, the card is destroyed first, and then its effect is activated. So if you have like a Hane or a Penguin Soldier, or anything like that, and they attack it, you can't return the monster back to your hand because it's already dead. You can return any monster else on the field, but you can't return that monster, because that monster's gone already. Okay? It's a little bit of a lingering effect, which I will get into in a minute, but for now, let's just keep it simple. Okay? So flip effects, you flip, or they attack and it flips, or they activate a card and it flips. Okay? Compulsory effects. Alright? It's an effect that must resolve and is not optional. Okay? So basically when two or more triggers affect at the same time. Okay. If it says on the card must, or this is not optional, it has to be done. Okay? It is compulsory. It's absolutely, it's like an obligation. You have to do it. Alright. If it's mandatory, it usually doesn't have you can. It doesn't give you that option. Okay, so if it says you can, it's not compulsory. Certain cards, like Man-Eater Bug, like I said, you flip it, you have to kill a card. You don't get to choose. It doesn't say you can kill a card. It says you must kill a card. Okay? Or CAIUS or any of the monarchs. CAIUS is when it's tribute summoned, it says destroy one monster. If there's no other monsters, then congratulations, you just killed your own monster. Alright, so it's compulsory, it must happen, okay? Ignition effects. This is going to get a little complicated now. Ignition effects are spell speed 1. I'll go over spell speeds again just to recoup, just because y'all probably going to need it. Alright, it requires a manual activation. So if you summon it, it doesn't automatically activate, okay? You choose when you want to. Alright? It's usually called a cost. Because it usually you have to do something for it. You pay life points, you tribute a monster, something like that. Alright. They made a new ruling for it. It says they can no longer be activated in response. So, let's see, monster ignition effects. Let's go with a simple one. BAZOO. Alright, BAZOO is a 1600 attack monster, but you can remove 3 monster cards from your graveyard, RFP them, banish them, to boost his attack by 900 for a turn. Okay. He doesn't come out, you don't summon him, and then he automatically does that. You choose when you want to do that, okay? There's also Blackwing Gale. Blackwing Gale basically says you summon him, and then you can target one monster, again target, and drop its attack and defense in half, okay? There's other cards for that. Let's do Dark SIMORGH. You choose when to activate part of his effect, okay? It doesn't always just activate. Alright, and it says almost all Xyz monsters. So Xyz monsters, again, you don't automatically use their effects. You choose when you want to do that, okay?